my name is Boni. I'm the attorney for Casino Free Philadelphia.
Paul, spell that last name, please.
It's B-O-N-I, 4 letters. I have a few remarks to make, but it can really be summed up with one sentence. We told you so. From our inception in 2006, Casino Free Philadelphia has pointed out how the relationship between the predatory gambling trade and our government provides fertile ground for corruption. We think this is caused by one fundamental factor. The industry model itself is indefensible. It's a model that results in the cultivation of problem gamblers and addicted gamblers. It's not an entertainment model or a recreational model. It's predatory. It's terrible public policy, and it can't stand up under scrutiny. So the only way that the predatory gambling trade can even hope to win in Pennsylvania is by persuading politicians to enact laws that essentially do three things: prevent open debate, delegate unpopular decisions to boards and to unelected boards and commissions, and eliminate the public's right to have contested decisions undergo traditional and trusted methods of judicial review. This is not just the predatory gambling trade seeking to use electronic gaming machines of questionable legitimacy to extract as much money from our fellow citizens. No, we can't just blame the industry for this. At the bottom, this is a government-created problem. And as we see from today's study, our legislators and executives have enacted these laws and presided over this debacle at the same time as they are experiencing a flood of incoming cash. This report indicates that the Pennsylvania Supreme Court justices took casino money. Legislative leaders, such as Senator Fumo and Purcell, took casino money. Executives such as Rendell and Street took casino money. More elected officials need to be investigated. Local politicians in particular need to come clean and open up their books as soon as possible. Let's follow the money. So what did this financial tsunami bring us? It brought us Act 71, a law that left the unelected Gaming Control Board members to decide where to put casinos, the most consequential land use decision in Philadelphia's modern history. And Act 71 made sure that every single elected official remained unaccountable. That was no accident. Secretive financial information, even today. Does anyone really know whether Sugar House or Foxwoods has the financial wherewithal to pull off their projects? Why isn't this transparent? Fast-tracking legal disputes to the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, where no record is created, no witnesses, no testimony, just paper shipped off to the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, which rules for the casinos every single time. The striking from the ballot of our right to have a local referendum. The City of Philadelphia fast-tracking zoning ordinances for Foxwoods on Market East without a stitch of study or analysis. These local ordinances now mimic Act 71 by delegating final decision-making to an unelected body, this time to the local planning commission. Indeed, tomorrow, we have a foregone conclusion that the Planning Commission will approve a redesigned Sugar House Slots Bar, which, if built, would be the world's clearest testament to poor city planning, assuming, of course, there was any planning at all. How could this be? In our view, none of these decisions can stand up under their stated rationales. Something else must be going on. We don't believe that the campaign contributions are a coincidence. The predatory gambling trade is one of the world's most powerful industries and excels at failing to divulge the whole truth and by compromising democracy. Its modus operandi includes flooding the political system with campaign donations. No, we have no evidence of bribery or law-breaking, and we allege none today. But in our state and local governments, the campaign contributions wash over the entire system. It's no surprise that Pennsylvania, a state with one of the most non-existent campaign finance laws, the system of regulation, is a state that is seeking to have more slot machines than any other state outside of Nevada, and is trying to turn Philadelphia into the country's largest city with slots bars. Thank you.
Hi, you are.
I'm Kelly Green, president of the League of Women Voters here in Philadelphia. We're here to support the report released by Common Cause. Access to people in our government should not be exclusive to those who have the money to pay for access. Money in politics impacts issues and priorities, and that needs to stop. The League of Women Voters have been in the forefront of fighting for people's voice to be heard. The United States League of Women Voters explicitly states, and I quote, "The method of financing political campaigns should ensure the public's right to know, combat corruption, and undue influence in the political process." The Common Cause released report clearly shows how money is having undue influence in politics, and at the very least shows an appearance of an air of corruption. In 2006, the League of Women Voters fought with other organizations to win the Lobbying Disclosure Act. That information that was made available to help to create this report that you received today. We've also been on the forefront of the battle for campaign finance reform, and we continue to fight that both in the state where it is desperately necessary and here in our city. We also are fighting for merit selection for judges. At the same time, as you know, the League of Women Voters is involved in an active lawsuit against former Justice Cathy for questionable actions leading to the court's ruling on Pennsylvania slugs. Misuse of power and money continue the trend of people's lack of trust in our government and our elected officials. It is a real fear that special interest groups and those with money are the ones whose voices are being heard. So I stand here as president of the League of Women Voters in support of the report that's been released today. It is powerful, it is important, and it is insightful. We also stand in partnership with Casino Free Philadelphia and Asians Americans United, and just want to say our mission is to increase public awareness, let people know, make people care, and help people act.
I am Helen Gym, Asian Americans United, and a member of the No Casino in the Heart of Our City Coalition. 9 months ago, Foxwoods, for the last 9 months, we've watched as Foxwoods casinos lurch from one end of the city to another, seeking to find a place for a large slots parlor that has so far been governed by an absolute lack of principle, an absolute lack of planning process, and an absolute lack of community voice. For many people in Chinatown, where the last 2 sites have been located, it's been a difficult process for us to understand how it is that 1,000 people marching in the streets and 25,000 petition signatures and numerous appeals and petitions made to different council people and local and state legislators can be so clearly ignored and upended. It's been hard to understand until a report like this comes out today, when it becomes very clear that there are larger principles in play far beyond what most people consider a democratic process. And as a member of a number of communities that have been seriously impacted by the location of slots gambling in our city, what we know is that this is anything but entertainment and fun and games. This is very clearly an industry that is well-funded, works below the radar, and has really offended in many ways the sense of democracy that a lot of people feel in their communities, and the ability for people to start having a good and serious dialogue about what's best for our city and what's best for our local communities as a whole. It is a sad and tragic fact that in many of our cities and in many of our communities that we can lack so many things, like a playground and an open green space in Chinatown, to place things like supermarkets and viable economic development enterprises. But what we do know is that in Pennsylvania, until the things change today, we can guarantee that there could be slots parlors on different corners, and that we can expand gambling without any kind of community process or review. So as part of Asian Americans United and the No Casino in the Heart of Our City Coalition, we stand with Common Cause to strongly urge our state legislators and the public to take a serious look at the recommendations.
Thanks. We're happy to take any questions.
It sounds like many people